Hello, yogis. So I thought I would just do, hopefully, a quick video about Yin Yoga and exactly what we're trying to achieve with Yin Yoga and why it's important to do Yin Yoga as well as your Hatha Yoga or strength training practice. So in Yin Yoga, we're doing deep passive stretches, longer holds, and we're working on the connective tissue and the fascia in the body. So the fascia in the body, we've actually learned more about this in recent years, and they're still doing lots and lots of studies on it. Basically, it is if you look at a chicken breast, so if you were cutting up a chicken breast, and that film, that clear film, slimy film that's around the chicken breast is fascia. And fascia is everywhere in our bodies. So there's bags of it around our organs. There's lines of it drawing, holding one part of the body together with the other part. So it holds our bones to our muscles to our skin, our organs in place. So when our ancient ancestors had their Ayurvedic treatment practices, and we had ancient Chinese medicine, they were very aware of what fascia was. And that's where your meridians come in, your acupuncture for Chinese acupuncture, meridians, nadis in yoga, and your connective tissues, your energy centers for your chakras, and in yoga we talk about Sushumna, the central line in the body, and you've got Ida and Pingala nadi, which are the main nadis that draw up and down the central line in the body. They snake up and down the central line in the body. So they were very aware of it in ancient times. And then when we came to modern medicine, they just disregarded fascia. They had no idea, really. They just thought it was just filling. It was just there as stuffing in between. So they had no idea, and they're only just kind of realizing now how important fascia actually is. And recently I came across an article which makes total sense, that our bones are actually fascia. So when you look through a cross-section of a bone, you'll see the honeycomb, and that is actually fascia. So I've actually, I often explain this in class, but I wanted to actually physically show you what fascia is, or what it, so you can get a better idea of what it looks like. So it's basically like the netting of your orange bag, like this. And it literally, as I said, all inside the body, you've got loads and loads of this stuff, and you've main lines going up, which are your meridian lines, which join your organs together. So basically what happens in the body is when we are stressed, it's like a second nervous system. So you've got all of these little points are like little energy centers. And they send signals to the brain. So it's almost like a second nervous system. And when we're stressed, they start to close up because we start to tense up. They start to close up. When we've injuries on the body, or when we just don't use the body, they start to close up like this. Okay? And then they become very unstretchy, very unmovable, and all the nutrients, energy, qi in Chinese medicine, can't go through. It can't get through. So we can't get this with normal Hatha Yoga because we don't give it enough time, because it's connected to your central nervous system, to your autonomic nervous system. So your fight or flight response, so when you're stressed, it tightens up to protect you. And because we're stressed all the time, even when we're just doing stretches in our Hatha yoga practice, you're kind of only there for 10 breaths, 30 seconds max. You don't give it enough time for you to relax into the stretch, for your mind to relax into the stretch. So it doesn't give it enough time to open up and release. So when we do our Yin Yoga, we're slowly opening that up. So when we open that up, we release all the trapped toxins. We fire up all those little energy centers that can now send signals to the brain because they're no longer blocked. And we let all the chi energy, which chi energy is basically blood. So it's the fluid that holds all the nutrients. So it holds everything that you would need to lubricate joints, to send nutrients to your organs. So when that's all closed up and tight, it can't get in. You can't heal. Your body can't heal. And it can't run efficiently because it's not getting what it needs. So when we do our Yin Yoga, we open that up and we let all the energy through. So that's basically what we are doing in Yin Yoga. And also when you have injuries, this tightens up to protect you. But then after the injury has healed, it needs encouragement to open up. So it doesn't necessarily, it'll stay stuck. So you need to encourage it to open up. So once you have healed over and you've clearance from the doctor, then you can start to work on opening that up. And the idea is that we do Yin Yoga cold. So we don't do Yin Yoga straight after a really energetic Hatha yoga practice, any Yan practice, fast, where you're really warming up the body. We don't then go into Yin because you'll overstretch. So when you're really warm, the body will stretch much deeper. But it'll go, because we're doing, and that's fine if you're just doing like your 30 seconds stretch at the end of a practice, just to loosen off the body before you finish. But if you're holding for 4 or 5 minutes at a time, you're really overstretching the body because you're going to go to that point, that deepest point, and then try and go beyond further than that. And you leave the body then vulnerable at the end of your practice because you've overstretched the body. So we do it when we're cold. So if you're doing Yin and Yang, you would always do your Yin practice first. So Yin is amazing first thing in the morning because you're naturally stiffer anyway. And then you won't go to your deepest level, and you don't try and go to your deepest level. So you go to the point where you first feel a stretch. You make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can in the posture, and then you go to the point where you first feel a stretch. So you don't want to be so comfortable that you feel nothing, because then nothing's happening. So you want to go to the point where you first feel a stretch, and you breathe into it, and you stay there. And then over the period of time, you're bringing your awareness internal. You're bringing internal awareness into the body. So you're kind of listening and you're feeling what the body is feeling. And then when you feel like, do you know what, I'm not feeling so much anymore, I could take a little bit more, you allow the body to go a little deeper. So it's only very slight movements. So you're trying to find stillness in the pose, so not fidgeting around, but stillness, and then slowly allowing the body to relax deeper. And this gently opens up that fascia. And because it is connected to your fight or flight. You'll go into, because you're relaxing, you'll go into rest and digest. And that will free it up even more, because the body will let go. It'll feel safe and it will let go. So that's your Yin Yoga. That's why we practice Yin Yoga. Yin Yoga is also really great if you find that you can't meditate. If you find that you're just have to be doing something, then do your Yin Yoga. Because you're bringing your focus inwards, you're feeling into the body, and you're relaxing the mind. So it's quite meditative as a practice as well. So it's really good for that reason, just calming the mind. And you'll find that as long as you don't overstretch, don't let the ego take over and think, right, I managed to get my head down to my knees last time I tried this in my hatha practice, so I need to be able to get my head down to my knees now. If you have that attitude, then you're going to be very tense and sore afterwards. So the idea is, don't allow the body to tense up. Find that comfortable discomfort. So you want to find a juicy stretch with no sharpness and no pain. If there's any pain, back off. And sometimes even just by backing off just a touch, you can find that comfortable discomfort that you can sit with. And if it gets too much, come out of it. Because as soon as you start fighting it, your body's going to start to tense up. And as soon as your body starts to tense up, your fascia starts to tense up. So you're wasting your time. So if you're first starting the practice and after 2 minutes you're thinking, do you know what, I've really had enough of this now. I'm really, really, starting to tense up. I can't find comfort here. Come out. So don't stay. Don't let the ego win. Listen to the body. Enjoy. Take care.